US and Iran have given tasks to experts to frame a potential nuclear deal. Now let's decode what it actually is. And joining me today on the broadcast is Mr. Ravi Joshi. He is visiting fellow ORF. Mr. Ravi, thank you so much first of all for joining in on the broadcast. After the second round of talks, both Iran and US have agreed to begin drawing up a framework for a potential nuclear deal. I want to ask, what according to you is this framework now?
Okay, thank you for having me. You know, this framework of talks was actually suggested by the Iranian Foreign Minister Prasar Bharati in the first round of talks, which was held in Oman. Which were actually, now we come to know from the Tehran side that there were actually indirect talks, and about 10 messages were written by both sides and sent to each other through the Omani's foreign minister. In that suggestion, the first suggestion was one of the few suggestions made by the Iranian foreign minister was to have a framework. First, we must agree to the boundary lines as to what are the points of discussion that we are discussing. Okay, what are the minimum guidelines and what are the red lines that we should not cross. Okay, this is a framework agreement. Now, in the framework agreement, Iran has suggested that you must first lift at least some sanctions on certain sectors to show that you are a reliable partner in this negotiation, that you mean serious business.
But will they do it? But will they do it?
Well, whether they will do it or not we will now come to know as the talks are progressing. Now, what has happened interestingly, soon after the second round of talks in Rome, they have now announced that an expert level meeting will take place on Wednesday.
Yeah.
That is on the 23rd. No, which is a very interesting development, because so far there was no expert meeting going on. When the expert level talks happen, that is when the details will be worked out. All the minor details will be worked out, the nitty-gritty of the talks. So, which sectors will be open for sanctions, in which sectors the sanctions will be lifted, and how much the Iranian nuclear enrichment program will be allowed to enrich. This is a very sticky point. You know, Steve Witkoff, after the first round of talks in Oman, in an interview to Fox News, said that Iran will be allowed to enrich up to 3.6%.
Yes.
Okay, but soon after that, in a social media post, he said Iran must stop all enrichment.
Yes.
Okay, so the Tehran Times analyst has said, very interestingly, that there is a tussle going on between the White House, the US administration, between two leaders, Marco Rubio, the foreign minister, and the NSA, Michael Waltz. They are the hardliners who are pushing that Iran must completely stop enrichment and give up all its stockpile. This stockpile which it has got, it must give up to a third country. This is what two of them are saying. But President Trump and J.D. Vance, Vice President, have told Netanyahu very clearly that you hold on your guns till we give a full chance to diplomacy.
Okay.
So, and Trump, that is why he is saying that if diplomacy doesn't succeed, then Iran is going to face a very tough situation. Israel might actually go and bomb the Iranian nuclear sites. This is a threat which Trump is repeatedly telling the world and telling Iran that please, you better make a deal now. This is your last chance. If you don't make a deal, Israel is going to bomb you and I can't stop it. So that is what Trump is saying, and J.D. Vance has also told Israel, you hold your guns. We are doing something. We'll talk to them, convince them to stop the nuclear enrichment program and to hand over the enriched missile material, all that. No, you must remember here that Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has always repeatedly said that Iran is not going to make a nuclear weapon. Iran does not want a bomb. There is a fatwa. He has issued a fatwa against the nuclear weapon. Now, what Netanyahu says is they have already enriched up to 60%. Okay, and it is only another 30% they have to enrich in order to make a nuclear weapon.
Yes.
Now, with the existing stockpile, they can make about 6 bombs. So now the breakout time for Iran to make a nuclear weapon is just a matter of 2 months. That's what Netanyahu has been saying. And Trump is inclined to believe what Netanyahu is saying, and Trump is insisting with Netanyahu, give peace a chance. Let us try it out.
Okay.
So,
I agree with what you're saying, but Mr. Ravi, Donald Trump has time and again said that he would bomb Iran if talks fail. Just a threat, in your opinion, so that Iran comes to terms, or concerning?
Trump has proved himself in the last 3 months that he has been in power, since January 20th, that he makes some very extravagant, very ambitious claims, then he withdraws. Look at the way he has handled the tariff issue. First he announced heavy tariffs on so many countries, and then he gave a pause for 90 days. So this is his way of dealing with the world. His foreign policy intention and planning has been so far that give a threat, withdraw, and see how the world reacts or how the enemy reacts to you. Now, he gave very big concession to Russia on the Ukrainian issue, but now he's showing anger. He's angry with Russia that you are not accepting the deal that I was offering you. And we made Zelensky almost, we humiliated him in the White House, and we made him accept your deal, but you are now declaring a ceasefire. So he's getting angry with Russia on that. So he's using bombastic terminology, bombastic threats, but he's not following it up. He's not following through with that.
So just a threat. So just a threat.
Yes, it is just a threat. Correct. In the meanwhile, Iran is not keeping quiet. Iranian Foreign Minister Prasar Bharati has gone to Moscow. He has met with President Putin. It has signed a strategic partnership with Russia. And Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister has gone and met the Chinese Foreign Minister, Russian Foreign Minister in Moscow. So there are wheels are in motion already. And meanwhile, Saudi Arabia is playing a very important role. Saudi Arabian Defense Minister visited just 2-3 days ago to Tehran and met with Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and handed over a letter from his father, King Salman. So what message he was carrying is not known. But this is a very important step. If Saudi Arabia also gets into the act in order to persuade Iran to give up nuclear weapons, it's a very good sign. It's a sign that Saudi Arabia wants peace in the region. It doesn't want to take the side of Netanyahu and allow him to bomb Iranian nuclear sites. That will be disaster for the entire region, and Saudi Arabia knows that. So various actors are moving various wheels, and there are so many moving parts here. We have to wait and see. Actually, this framework agreement, if it is put in place and if it is publicized, then we will know exactly what are the red lines and what are the boundaries of the agreement.
Okay. Now let's talk about Iran's nuclear program. What is your reaction to where Iran's current nuclear program stands? It has a long history of engaging in secret nuclear weapons research in violation of its international commitments.
The Iranian nuclear program actually was stopped after the 2015 JCPOA agreement.
Yes.
So, and it was the most successful peace agreement, which not only US but the P5+1, the permanent 5 members of the Security Council, US, UK, France, China, Russia, plus 1, that is Germany, they came together and signed an agreement with Iran. So it was not a US-Iran deal. It was a multilateral deal approved by the UN Security Council, and it was the most opportunistic. I mean, it was the best opportunity for Iran and for US to stop the Iranian nuclear program. And after that, Iran actually stopped its nuclear program and brought it down to 3.6%, which is allowed under the NPT agreement which it has signed. So any country which has signed the nuclear non-proliferation treaty can have nuclear energy for peaceful purpose, and they were using it for that purpose. Now, President Trump came to power, and then he tore up the agreement in 2018. And it came as a shock to all the European partners.
Hmm.
Both UK, France, and Germany, and on the other side, Russia and China were shocked by it. And Russia and China said we are no longer bound by the JCPOA, and we will go ahead dealing with Iran on an equal footing as we were doing in the past.
I got it.
China said we'll buy oil from Iran, and Russia said we'll buy weapons from Iran. All that started happening. And Iran went back, scaled up its nuclear enrichment program up to 60%, which is a dangerous escalation.
Indeed, indeed.
So now it has gone far beyond.
So very quickly, Mr. Ravi, how do you analyze where is it going? Very quickly, we have paucity of time.
I think Iran wants a peace deal.
Okay, Iran. All right, Iran wants a peace deal. We'll have to wait and see.
But all the sanctions are lifted.
Yeah, definitely. Iran wants peace. That's what you're saying. But we have to wait and see what future holds. Thank you so much, sir, for joining in on the broadcast today.
Thank you.